So far this year, I've been setting up several hunting rifles. And now fall's getting close, so it's getting close to time to go out into the field and put those rifles to work. And I don't know about you, but maybe it's just me, but 2020 just really hadn't been that great of a year. And me personally, I'm going to feel a lot better about going into this winter with the freezer stocked full of venison. And a big part of making that happen is going to be scouting. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to scout. You can just go into the woods, pick out a spot that looks good, sit there and get a deer. I've done it. But scouting, it just maximizes my chances of getting a deer, especially on public land. And keep in mind, every place has its challenges. I mean, you got different topography, different climates. Every place is unique. All right, well, private land versus public land, each of those has its own challenges. Private land, whatever you got, that's what you got. You're not going anywhere else, you're going to that spot. So what you have to focus on with private land is improving whatever it is that you have. And that's where you habitat improvement comes in, and deer management, stand locations, that type of thing. Well, public, at least where I'm at, public's just the opposite. Public land, or at least here, we have so much of it, and it's spread over 3 counties. The problem is most of it doesn't have deer, or it has very, very few deer. Okay, so the odds of me just going in and, picking out a spot and sitting there and killing a deer is pretty slim. All right, it can be done, but it's slim. Now, over the course of a season, while hunting, you hunt here, didn't see anything, you hunt here, didn't see anything, you eventually eliminate the bad spots. The thing is, I don't want to spend my season eliminating bad spots, because that translates into not getting any deer. I want to spend my season in the best places possible that have the most deer and has the most big deer if I'm after a big one. I want to maximize my chances. Okay, well, this is where macro scouting comes in. Now with macro scouting, I'm trying to cover as much ground as possible, and I'm looking at areas. I'm not looking at specific spots. I'm looking for the area that has the most deer, or the most big deer, depends on what I'm looking for. And out west, you would do this by glassing. Well, that really ain't an option here. But you can still ride around in the evenings or mornings. They're different places, and if you're in a place that has a lot of deer, you're going to see one crossing the road every now and then, or you'll see one out in the opening in a field or something. And I'm still looking for the same stuff us hunters have always looked for. I'm looking, if I see an open area, I'm looking for tracks. But I want to see a lot of tracks. I don't want to see one stray deer walk through there. I'm looking for crossings across the secondary roads. But I want to see some fresh signs with those crossings. So again, I'm just looking for the area with the most deer. And keep in mind, I'm on public land. I'm also looking for hunters. So I'm just as interested in fresh tire tracks as I am fresh deer tracks. I'm looking for the place that has the most deer and the place that has the fewest hunters. And generally those two things are the same place. As I wrap up the macro scouting, now I can focus on specific areas that I know have a lot of deer, and I can go from the macro scouting to the micro scouting, which is actually, boots on the ground picking out a tree. And whereas the macro scouting is primarily for public land, at least in my area because there's so much of it, the micro scouting's for public and private. And just to expand on this a little bit, this area that I've been in today, this isn't a new area for me. I was planning on going to some new areas this morning that I hadn't scouted, but then we had some bad weather in the southern part of the county in those areas. I said, okay, You know, I'll come through and check this out today. I hadn't been through here in a while. Well, this area has completely changed. All of the logging in here has completely changed the dynamics of this place. This is a new area this year. I've hunted it before. I killed a deer in here last year. This is a new area. So keep that in mind. And me coming through here quickly, you know, not spending a lot of time in, you know, any one spot, just quickly coming through and checking things out, I immediately saw the logging. Checking the crossings on the road, I immediately saw that the old, really worn out, deep crossings, they didn't have fresh tracks in them. The fresh tracks were about a mile from, you know, where the old heavy crossings used to be. The deer have shifted a mile further down in this area, or at least the concentrations of them. That's because the logging just really altered the dynamics of this whole place. So that's something to keep in mind. Even those old spots that you know like the back of your hand, go through those real quick and check them out sometime. And I know there's a large concentration of deer in here, so I know this is something that was worth looking at. Okay. And if you want to see how I break down the micro scouting, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because I'll be uploading that video next week. And now for some quick channel news. We just went over 100 subscribers. Hey, I'm excited about that. And I know that's nothing compared to other channels, but it's something to me. And hey, we went from 0 to over 100 subscribers in about 13 months. I'll consider that an accomplishment. And I want to thank each and every one of you that has subscribed. And for those of you that, you know, are subscribed, list some ideas at the bottom for what you would like the next video to be. Right after we get through with the micro scouting, whether we do another gun video or more hunting, you know, for you subscribers, I want to do something for y'all. So I really appreciate you watching the videos. I appreciate you subscribing. So just let me know what you'd like to see. And, you know, if we get enough of you that want to see the same thing, we'll do something on it. If not, I'll pick one at random. I hope you enjoyed the video. God bless, and have a great day.